right, shalom, shalom. I'd like to start off first and foremost by giving all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem, Rachakadash. Double honors to our elders and the apostles, a great millstone who rule and teach well. And peace, love, and salutations and blessings to those that do this work in truth and sincerity. This your brother Nathaniel from the GMS Camp Atlanta, coming back at you through the Spirit with another lesson, and I pray I hope this lesson is edifying. And I was discussing something with a elder brother today. We were discussing a bunch of inventors that created things that Esau Edom just pretty much had them murdered, and stole their blueprints, their patents, their research, pretty much everything that that these people had created, okay, that could have been beneficial to society. And this is what he does to this very day. All right. And there was something that he passed. Let me see if I can get it real quick. It's called the invention. Let's see. Yeah. It's called the Invention Secrecy Act of 1951. And it says inventions. The Invention Act of 1951, 35 U.S.C. 181-188 allows the U.S. government to withhold patents and impose secret orders on inventions deemed detrimental to national security. It enables the USPTO to restrict disclosure of new technologies such as defense, atomic energy, or cryptographic, effectively keeping them classified and presenting their public release or commercialization. Okay, so basically inventions that could possibly change the status quo or create something that could potentially be beneficial, or take them out their power seat because they want to keep a level of control over the people. Those things aren't deemed legal. So we hear all the time how inventors get killed, inventors get murdered, and things of that nature. And I'm just going to go over a list of inventors that have been killed or mysteriously died after what they invented turned out to be very beneficial to the public. All right, because a lot of people create things to make life easier, not just for themselves, but for everyone else. But the power structure that we live in is not here to make an easy life for everyone. The power structure that is here right now is here to make your life fucking miserable. Okay? We live in a state of complete misery. Even if you're somebody who has a level of success in this wicked ass world that we live in today, they're still in misery. They may not just realize it. That day that something happens and throw them off of their high horse, or that day that something happens and, takes away all of their financial success, or their woman leaves them, or their children bucks up against them, or they lose their job, or something that happens, because this system that we live in is in a system that allows you to stay in a position of comfortability for a long period of time. Okay? Except if you're, so-called high-level Edomite, right? So-called white man is what I meant to say, because they are Edomites, not so-called, and that's the type of world that we live in. So, all right, so like it, man, these people are just fucking tripping, man. Like I've been trying to get this video to pull up, and I had to pause the video for a second because the video wouldn't pull up. It kept pulling up every video that I didn't want, but not the video I wanted. This is Nahum 3:1. It says, "Woe to the bloody city. It is all full of lies and robbery, and the prey departeth not." Okay? So the prey is still here, and I'll read that in the NIV. It says, "Woe to the bloody city, full of lies, full of plunder, never without victims." Okay? And that's exactly what this place is a place that's never without victims. These people steal with impunity. They don't stop. And if they find out you're doing something that can harm their system, you're going to die. So they would not let me pull this video up for some reason. I promise you, AI in a lot of respects is watching us through our phones, and they hinder a lot of our work. Okay, and they do it, but they think we're not aware of it. But being that this stuff is becoming more and more increasingly difficult to do videos where for no reason your sound may cut off, or no reason your video may cut off, or for no reason at all you can't pull up a video that you just had pulled up when you're in the process of doing a lesson. Okay, and this stuff happens to me often, and I don't know why, but it happens consistently. Maybe it's the technology, maybe it's them, but I kind of think it's Esau that's doing this shit.
Patent's useless because Stanley faked the numbers because he didn't trust the government, because he had another invention that most people don't know about. Technology is now gone. The patent's useless because Stanley faked the numbers because he didn't trust the government, because he had another invention that most people don't know about.
I see that. I keep stopping.
Before his water car, which was this toroid ring. A toroid is a donut. This donut-shaped ring that he invented that created energy out of nothing and levitated. But he patented it. It got hit with the Secrecy Act, and they made his life miserable. But people started to learn about that, and that brings us. There are other inventions.
But it keeps stopping and pausing on this video. But then if I switch
in between Townsend.
If I switch it to another video, you'll see that it's going to play the folly, but it won't play this.
Brown invents this anti-gravity technology. He runs into all kinds of bad luck. All these men have their research stolen. They're broken into. They're carrying guns. They're threatened. They're disappearing. It happens over and over and over again. I have an episode on this. It's very sad. And we get to Floyd Sparky Sweet. He's my favorite because his inventions, he videotaped all of his stuff. And you see him in his workshop. And Sparky, he's an engineer. He's a garage tinkerer, but he's an engineer. And this was supervised by the military physicist. Maybe it was a mistake. And you see him running a fan at high RPMs, and then he's got light bulbs, all of this energy, and it's all running off this little box the size of a deck of cards. And he puts in 0.03 milliwatts, and he gets out all the watts you want. It's a device that no matter what you attach to it, whatever the need is, it will give you the energy. This is Sparky Sweet. This actually connects to UFO technology. I don't know if we'll go there, but it does connect. So Sparky's got this invention. He gets some help from a military physicist. Gets a visit late one night to men in suits, come talk to him, say goodnight. He has a heart attack. Ambulance comes. They grab Sparky. The wife is not allowed in the ambulance. He dies. Soon after, a couple of black vans pull up. They take all his stuff, all his notes, every piece of equipment, and it just disappears. And that's the last we hear of it. Technology is now gone.
All right, so you hear that? Lies and robbery. They just come and they just took my man's stuff and took his life. Now, there's a number of inventors that, there's a number of inventors that invented things and they ended up dead. I got another video that I'm about to play. Lord willing, it pulls up, but I doubt it because these people.
The patent's useless because Stanley faked it.
Oh, now it wants to pull up because I called him out on it. Shit is crazy. All right, here, I think this is it right here.
Stefan Marinov was the leader of the European...
No, that's not it. It's not here. Well, that's weird. Okay, let's try it this way.
Weird. People who could have changed the world.
Now she's AI.
But disappeared. Number 1. Thomas Ogle invented a car engine that could run on vapor instead of fuel, reportedly driving over 100 miles on a single gallon. But after refusing to sell his idea, he was mysteriously poisoned at just 24. His blueprints vanished forever. Number 2. Nikola Tesla dreamed of free wireless energy for everyone. But when investors learned his invention would make electricity free, funding stopped. After his death, U.S. agents seized all his research papers. Some say his work could have changed the world.
It would have changed the world.
Number 3, Stanley Meyer claimed to have built a water-fueled car that ran entirely on hydrogen from water. He even demonstrated it publicly before suddenly collapsing during dinner. Reportedly poisoned, his invention disappeared soon after. Number 4, Raymond Rife, a 20th century American scientist and inventor, claimed to have created a microscope powerful enough to observe live viruses, something unprecedented at the time. But what really caught attention was his assertion that he had developed a frequency machine capable of destroying cancer cells without harming healthy ones. People who could have changed...
All right, now let's go back to... this is DeepSeek. Now remember that U.S. patent law. Let's just pull it up again. All right. It says the Invention Secrecy Act of 1965, 35 U.S.C. SS 181-188 allows the U.S. government to withhold patents and to impose secrecy orders on inventions deemed detrimental to national security. It enables the USPTO to restrict disclosure of new technologies such as defense, atomic industry, or cryptographic, effectively keeping them classified and preventing their public release or criticism. All right. So then we're going to go to a quick scripture. Isaiah 10. It says, woe to them, Isaiah 10 and 1, woe to them that decree unrighteous decrees, and write grievousness which they have prescribed, to turn aside the needy from judgment, and to take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey, and that they may rob the fatherless. Okay? So they pass laws to take away the right of the people. You invent something, you create something, it doesn't belong to the U.S. government. It belongs to the man that created it, and yet they come and take it as if it's theirs. These are the people that are in power right now. The greedy sons of bitches, Esau, Edom, that takes away and oppresses everybody and everything on the earth. You know, like the elder said, and when we spoke earlier, he's really an unprofitable ruler. He pollutes and destroys his own environment, while things that could possibly preserve and create a utopia for everybody, he hoards and keeps for himself, right? What's the sense of having all those riches and all that wealth if the only thing you're going to do with it is destroy everything? You see, that's why the scriptures say if this man wasn't taken out of the way, there would be no flesh left alive. All right, so I'm going to read that again in NIV. It says, woe to them that make unjust laws, to those who issue oppressive decrees, to deprive the poor of their right and withhold justice from the oppressed of my people, making widows their prey and robbing the fatherless. You see, that's what this man does. Okay, he makes unrighteous decrees to make it to where he's always elevated at the top of the echelon. If people got free energy, then how the energy companies gonna make money? If people got free energy, then they would be not dependent on the U.S. government for farming and for food and for fuel. You see how this thing works? Free energy gives people the ability to be independent of their government. Okay? There wouldn't be an oil crisis right now if these selfish ass people would allow people to freely create. Okay? It wouldn't be no problem. All right? With energy. Everything would be able to run. There and I have a list from DeepSeek. Okay, and DeepSeek gives a list of inventors that mysteriously died. And here's what I asked: I said, can you find a list of inventors in the 20th and 21st century that invented power sources that were almost infinitely renewable, clean, and they mysteriously ended up dead? Right? So it came up with Stanley Meyer claimed to invented a water fuel cell, powered a dune buggy. Eugene Malov, a proponent of cold fusion, promised of limited energy, while conspiracy theories suggest big energy killed him. 3 people were arrested. Nikola Tesla, many theories cite that the U.S. government seized his research papers after his death. Dr. T. Henry Murray claimed to have a device that extracted energy from the environment. He died with his dream unrealized, and the original device was reported destroyed. Other modern names like Hutchinson, Roy Johnson, and Mark Timon often cited conspiracy lists. And I said I believe there's a few more, and it did give me a list of more. Okay, Dr. Eugene Malove was a proponent of cold fusion. Stanley Meyer invented Aries Degas claimed to have tapped into zero point energy for limitless power. Now I remember they reveal a lot of stuff in movies and stuff like that, and you think that they're movies, but they're not. Okay, where Ozone, or what was the name? What was my man's name? It was the villain in the movie. What was that movie? With Friezo. What was that name of that movie? It was a Pixar movie. Incredibles. Okay, so it was a movie called Incredibles. Syndrome. Yeah, this guy right here. So Syndrome had created a device that had 0 point energy and that can freeze you still. Okay. Well, it's saying right here that that was actually a real thing. Okay. And he said he was in 2007 he was found dead in his car at an airport. Officials ruled it a heart attack. How so? Stefan Marinvo, he was a physicist who dedicated his life later to promoting free energy concepts. He was found dead in 1997. John Waller Kelly discovered a way to release immense energy from water using sound wave resonance, called it the etheric force. He died in 1989. His death wasn't suspicious. Most research documents vanished after his death. How about that? Randolph Diesel, the inventor of the diesel engine, and this is going back even further. Okay, so you see that this devil had stolen all of this technology that could have made life better for everyone, to put everyone in a state of perpetual misery. Okay, so I'm gonna grab one more precept and then we're gonna close out. So I'm gonna go to the book of Luke 12, and we're going to read verse 2. It says, "For there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed, nothing hid that shall not be known. That therefore whatsoever ye have spoken in darkness shall be heard in the light, and that which ye have spoken in the ear in the closet shall be proclaimed upon the housetops." And that's including everything that you stole and hid from the people. All right. So with that, I pray this is an edifying lesson. I'm going to end it off by giving all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem, Kakardash. Until the next time, I say Shalom.